A small request before starting the video. If you love the channel's topic, then subscribe to the channel now and press the bell icon next to it, because one of your subscriptions encourages me to make better videos. Chumlee, the Pawn Stars' breakout star, is expert at identifying hidden treasures and is known for his easygoing personality. His strong personality and instincts have consistently turned missed objects into huge earnings for the gold and silver pawn shop. His ability to perceive value and bargain successfully has made him a valued team member. Chumlee, an American businessman and reality TV personality, was born in Henderson, Nevada, on September 8, 1982. His expertise and charisma led to some of the most surprising and lucrative deals on the show. Watch the show to discover how he turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Austin, known as Chumlee, was named after the walrus from the animated TV show Tennessee Tuxedo due to his large face and chin. He grew up in Henderson and became close friends with Corey Harrison, whose father and grandfather founded the gold and silver pawn shop in 1989. At 21, Chumlee started working at the shop, performing duties like testing. Despite being portrayed as a comic relief character in The Village Idiot, Chumlee has shown expertise in various fields, including pinball machines, sports memorabilia, sneakers, toys, and video games, as shown in the second season episode titled Pinball. Wizards Chumlee's pinball expertise impresses even Corey Harrison, demonstrating his versatility. His rise from behind the counter to key player on Pawn Stars has been marked by unexpected twists and bold decisions. Let's explore some of Chumlee's most notable achievements. Chumlee bought 3 samurai swords for under $4,000 with his colleagues. Rick and Corey Harrison were skeptical of his competence and worried about overpaying for a sword without authenticating it. To clarify, they consulted a local swords expert, Mike. Mike began the collection by studying the first sword, which was in good shape with minor defects and a little but acceptable nick. The sword was signed by a legendary swordsman, adding substantial value. Mike confirmed that this was a valuable piece, much to Rick and Corey's surprise. Next, Mike moved on to the second sword after carefully removing the handle to check for any markings. He found another signature. This sword dated back to the late 1400s or early 1500s, adding to its historical significance. The craftsmanship was impressive and the sword was in good condition, which further confirmed its value. The third sword had a forged signature, which initially seemed like bad news. However, Mike explained that even though the signature was a forgery, the sword itself was still old and valuable. It dates back to the early 1400s and was well preserved. Despite the forged marking, this sword still held considerable worth. After appraising all 3 swords, Mike delivered the final verdict. Together the set was worth approximately $113,000. Chumlee's gamble had paid off, turning his $4,000 investment into a significant profit. This deal showcased his ability to recognize value and make bold decisions, proving that was far from the village idiot he was often portrayed as on the show. In another memorable instance, Chumlee handled a rare and valuable katana sword that Rick Harrison had initially purchased for $116,000. Rick sent the sword to Japan to be fully restored by the best craftsman, and after 2 years it finally returned. The restoration was meticulous, involving the application of traditional Japanese lacquer and the recreation of early 1600s fittings, which brought the sword back to its original glory. Mike, a local sword expert, estimated the perfect katana at $35,000 to $40,000. Rick stated that the blade was not for sale owing to its significance, but fate intervened when UFC president walking into the shop, Dana White sought a flawless blade to add to his collection, recognizing a wonderful chance. Despite Rick's earlier instructions, Chumlee offered the katana to Dana, who was intrigued by its history and craftsmanship. After some negotiations, Dana agreed to buy the sword for $330,000, but her interest extended beyond that. Beyond just the katana, he spotted other swords in the shop and decided to buy several more. This additional purchase brought the total sale to a staggering $60,000. Rick, upon discovering the sale of his prized katana, was understandably upset. However, his conversation with Dana led to an even more unexpected outcome. Dana ended up buying another sword for $9,000, increasing his total expenditure to $69,000. The deal with Dana White not only demonstrated Chumlee's negotiation skills but also his Understanding of what high-profile clients desire, it turned a potentially controversial situation into one of the shop's most profitable deals. Another notable instance showcasing Chumlee's knack for finding extraordinary items involves a car with a dark history, the BMW in which legendary rapper Tupac Shakur was shot. Rick and Chumlee visited a local car dealership in Las Vegas that claimed to have the very BMW Tupac was in when he was fatally shot in 1996 after attending a Mike Tyson fight. The car, though repaired and polished, retained its historical significance. It came with documentation proving its authenticity, including a lease agreement from Death Row Records confirmed Tupac's presence in the car during the tragedy. Rick consulted with music memorabilia expert Warwick, who compared the BMW to Tupac's Hummer, which sold for $200,000. Warwick estimated the BMW could sell for between $500,000 and $1 million due to its historical significance and Tupac's successful albums from that time. The car's history as a crime scene made its value subjective and unpredictable, but its diamond status and connection to Tupac added allure and intrigue. The dealership set the price at $1.5 million, having rejected an offer of $900,000. Chumlee's knack for finding intriguing items led to another memorable moment at the gold and silver pawn shop when a man walked in with an old card-playing book from 1866. The book, though not in the best condition, was a treasure trove of historical card game rules and strategies. It covered various games, some of which were obscure and rarely played today. The seller, who had won the book in a poker game, hoped to sell it for $1,500 but was willing to go as low as $11,000. Intrigued by the book's age and content, Chumlee began exploring its potential value. The book featured games like long whist, 5-card cribbage, and different forms of poker, including straight poker, draw poker, and the lesser-known whiskey poker. Given Las Vegas's rich history with card games, Chumlee saw the book as a fitting addition to the shop's collection. To get a more accurate valuation, Chumlee called in Rebecca, the shop's book expert. She confirmed that the book was a great example of 19th century how-to books, which were popular due to the lack of formal education systems at the time. She explained that books on card game rules, particularly poker, were rare before 1858, making this 1866 publication quite significant. Rebecca valued the book at around $2,000, noting its importance to gambling history and its appeal to collectors, especially in a city like Las Vegas where professional poker players and enthusiasts abound. This valuation surprised Chumlee, who initially thought the book might not be worth much due to its condition. With the expert's appraisal, Chumlee negotiated with the vendor, knowing the book's intent, potential, and its appeal to collectors. He aimed to strike a deal that would be profitable for the shop. The seller initially stuck to his asking price of $1,500, but Chumlee knew he needed to buy it at a lower price to ensure a good profit margin. After some back and forth, Chumlee managed to negotiate the price down to $1,375. This price point was agreeable to both parties and left room for the shop to make a reasonable profit. The seller walked away satisfied, having made a good deal, and Chumlee was pleased to add a unique and historically significant book to the shop's inventory. Chumlee's love for collectible card games led him to an incredible opportunity at the gold and silver pawn shop. One day a seller walked in with a sealed beta Magic the Gathering starter deck. Magic the Gathering, a highly popular collectible card game, has seen a massive growth in both player base and card value over the years. This particular deck was from the beta set, the second release of the game, making it extremely rare and valuable. Though the allure of a sealed deck lies in its mystery inside, there could be common, uncommon, and rare cards, including potentially valuable ones. The seller had been buying these decks online but hadn't had much luck with valuable pulls. He decided to cut his losses and offer the deck for sale, asking for $40,000. Chumlee, understanding the potential and risks, decided to bring in a trading card expert to verify the deck's authenticity. The expert confirmed the deck's condition was excellent and that it indeed appeared to be a genuine beta Magic the Gathering starter deck with the potential for pulling a card like the Black Lotus, one of the most coveted cards in the game. The deck's value could skyrocket, however there was a significant risk involved. The deck could be resealed, and without opening it there was no way to be sure of its contents. The expert suggested that Chumlee's best bet was to buy it and open it to verify its authenticity and the cards inside. He estimated a safe buying price to be around $23,000 to $25,000 given The potential value of the rares inside Chumlee negotiated with the seller, ultimately offering $25,000. With a unique twist, he proposed that if a Black Lotus was inside they would split its value. The seller, enticed by the chance to see the cards and potentially make more money, agreed to the deal. The moment of truth arrived. Chumlee and the expert carefully opened the sealed deck. The suspense was high as they revealed the two rare cards. One of the cards turned out to be a Power N card, one of the most valuable in the game. This card alone was estimated to be worth $150,000, significantly more than what Chumlee purchased the entire deck, and was rewarded with a huge win after the expert confirmed its pristine condition. The seller was pleased to witness the reveal, and Chumlee was thrilled with the profitable outcome. At the O.J. Simpson Bronco is one of the most iconic vehicles in American history, known for its role in the infamous police chase that was broadcast live across the nation. Rick and Chum had the chance to see this legendary car up close when they visited a local dealership in Las Vegas. This particular Bronco was driven by O.J.'s friend Al Cowlings during the chase with O.J. Simpson in the back seat. The chase occurred in 1994 after O.J. failed to turn himself in for the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. This Bronco, which had been meticulously preserved, still had the original license plate and had been kept in pristine condition with very low mileage. The historical significance of this vehicle cannot be overstated, as it was seen by millions of people during the chase, making it a unique piece of pop culture history. The dealership owner revealed that he had already turned down an offer of $500,000 and was asking for $1.3 million for the Bronco, despite the car's pristine condition and immense historical value. Rick and Chumlee found themselves in a tough spot. While they recognized the car's potential to fetch between $500,000 and $1 million at auction, the asking price of $1.3 million was simply too high for them to justify. The Bronco's connection to a high-profile crime added both intrigue and complexity to its valuation, making it a significant gamble. Although Rick and Chumlee couldn't close the deal on the Bronco, the experience has its advantages. Chumlee educated Rick about the vehicle's history, enhancing his value as a Pawn Star. Another transaction involved a bronze Madonna bust with Vatican certification, initially asking for $80,000 due to its rarity. Chad, an art expert, confirmed the piece's authenticity and praised its craftsmanship, but valued it at around $35,000 based on secondary market prices, less than the seller's asking price, considering their disappointment and the need for a profitable deal. Chumlee proposed replacing cash with 100 pounds of silver worth at around $24,000. The seller was fascinated by the notion and agreed to the purchase pending verification of the silver's value. Chumlee utilized a trade instead of a direct purchase to acquire the bust at a lower value than estimated, allowing for a higher profit margin upon resale. This deal demonstrated Chumlee's negotiation skills and highlighted the fluctuating silver price. Rick and Corey were initially skeptical about the trade, especially given the lower than expected valuation of the bronze Madonna bust. However, Chumlee's decision proved beneficial. By capitalizing on the declining silver prices, he managed to create a buffer that added extra value to the shop's holdings. The transaction underscored his ability to take calculated risks and make decisions that could yield significant returns. Showcasing his business acumen, Chumlee quickly emerged as a breakout star and fan favorite on Pawn Stars. His affable personality and humorous antics endeared him to viewers, making him a household name. Capitalizing on his newfound fame, Chumlee formed his own company, selling novelty items of his design and arranging personal appearances. His merchandise, which included everything from t-shirts to bobbleheads, became highly popular, outselling those of other cast members. Recognizing the demand for Chumlee-branded merchandise, he sold half of his company to Rick Harrison for $155,000 in 2010. This move allowed the pawn shop to handle the increasing volume of orders more efficiently, further boosting Chumlee's popularity and reach beyond the pawn shop. Chumlee expanded his presence in pop culture. He appeared as himself along with Rick and Corey Harrison in the episode 1 Lost My Head in Vegas on the popular TV series Yard. His crossover into mainstream television solidified his status as a beloved reality TV personality, bringing him even more fans. In May 2017, Chumlee took another entrepreneurial leap by opening Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard, a candy shop located across the street from the gold and silver pawn shop. This venture showcased his ability to diversify and capitalize on his brand, proving that his business instincts extended beyond the pawn shop. Chumlee is also a car enthusiast, owning an impressive collection that includes a Rolls-Royce Phantom Maserati Gran Turismo Cadillac Escalade Range Rover, 1964 Impala SS, and 1986 favorite. Fans appreciate Chumlee's diverse nature, including his affinity for vehicles, as seen in his customized Buick Regal with hydraulic lifts. His journey from behind-the-counter staffer to reality TV celebrity and successful entrepreneur is a testament to his hard work. Charisma and financial expertise, his ability to connect with people, perceive value, and take measured risks, make him a vital member of Pawn Stars and a beloved figure in pop culture.